In the world of 2025 gaming, we throw the word hard around constantly. A game is too hard, a boss is too hard, a difficulty setting is too hard. But what does hard actually mean today? Usually it means a long health bar, complicated mechanics, or maybe just a lot of grinding. We need to talk about real difficulty. We need to talk about the kind of difficulty that makes you throw a controller, walk away, and think about nothing else for 20 minutes before you sheepishly come back. We need to talk about Crash Bandicoot on the original PlayStation. The PS1 era, specifically the Crash trilogy, didn't just give us fun platforming, it gave us a masterclass in unforgiving, precise, and often cruel level design. And replaying it today is a sharp reminder of why that era of gaming built players with patience, skill, and just a little bit of madness. Today, we're celebrating the joy of failing repeatedly. Modern 3D platformers like Mario Odyssey give you wide-open playgrounds. Crash Bandicoot gives you a hallway and tells you to run. The first essential factor in Crash's difficulty is the linear, corridor-based 3D design. You can't stop, you can't turn around and explore. You are constantly running into the screen, which means enemies, pitfalls, and those terrifying rolling boulders are coming at you from an angle that is structurally designed to make depth perception a nightmare. This isn't just bad camera design, it's deliberate psychological warfare. It forces you to rely on timing, shadows, and the sound of your own footsteps rather than visual confirmation. Every jump becomes a leap of faith. And when you throw in the ice physics of Crash 2 or the time trial demands of Crash 3, that linear path becomes less of a level and more of a gauntlet. It demands perfect commitment to the jump, the spin, and the slide. The minute you hesitate, the minute you slightly misjudge the shadow of a platform, you're dead. And that feeling of helplessness, that was the lesson. Here's the real gut punch that separates the PS1 generation from today: the checkpoint system. In 2025, if a level is too long, we get an autosave every 50 steps. If a game is too hard, it offers us story mode difficulty. Crash Bandicoot didn't care about your feelings. You run through a ridiculously long, complex level full of moving platforms and enemy patrols. You manage to save up 2 lives and survive 25 crates. You see the glowing Aku Aku mask, you feel a wave of relief, then you step on the small wooden checkpoint block. You feel safe, and you take one more step forward, misjudge a jumping box, and you die. What happens next? You respawn, but your extra lives are gone, and the checkpoint is rarely close to the last major hazard. It's a temporary reprieve, not a sanctuary. The sheer distance you had to travel just to earn the right to respawn is the core challenge. We learned the value of a life because they were precious and hard-earned. Modern gamers rarely worry about a game over screen. We lived in fear of it. But the real soul-crushing genius of Crash wasn't just surviving the level, it was completing the gem challenge. Getting to the end is one thing. Getting every single box in the level, that's where you realize the designers were either geniuses or psychopaths. You have to backtrack, spin invisible boxes, bounce on spring crates without touching the ground, and solve environmental puzzles that sometimes require you to commit to a blind path of death just to find one solitary box. Think about Slippery Climb or Road to Nowhere from the first game. These levels are already pure stress tests of balance and timing. Then the game demands that you complete them without missing a single box, and crucially, without dying. The gem runs required a level of focus, memory, and precision that is simply not asked of the average gamer today. It wasn't about grinding stats, it was about perfect execution. It taught us that sometimes getting the true ending means replaying the same 3-minute segment 50 times until your brain and your thumb achieve perfect synchronization. This is where patience was built, one shattered controller at a time. Part of the atmosphere that amplified the difficulty was the audio design. The music in Crash is instantly recognizable. It's jaunty, it's frantic, and it often has an undercurrent of panic that matches the gameplay perfectly. But what truly defined the experience was the sound effects, the satisfying boom of getting a checkpoint, the desperate ooga booga of Aku Aku saving you from death, and most importantly, the pitiful high-pitched wah that Crash lets out every time he's crushed, spun, or falls into a pit. That sound was the soundtrack to our failure. You spent so much time hearing that wah that you became pathologically dedicated to not hearing it. The silence after you've successfully completed a flawless run, the sound of the gem reward unlocking, that silence was the reward. It was a moment of true, earned satisfaction that no participation trophy or daily login bonus can replicate. The reward was the cessation of agony. We learned to value success because failure was so immediate and so demoralizing. So why revisit this brutal, unforgiving era? Why embrace the joy of failing repeatedly? Because the PS1 era, through games like Crash Bandicoot, taught us true resilience. It taught us that failure is not a bug, it's a feature. It's the mechanism by which you learn the geometry of the level, the timing of the enemy, and the perfect trajectory of your jump. It taught us patience, not the patience of waiting for a download, but the patience to try the same thing 30 times until you get it right. Modern games are designed to make you feel good immediately. Crash Bandicoot was designed to make you suffer for an hour and then feel amazing for 30 seconds. And honestly, those 30 seconds of feeling amazing are what built us into the gamers we are today. We value the win because we earned the scars. If you want to test your mettle, if you want to remind yourself of the true commitment required to be a real gamer, fire up the first Crash Bandicoot. Jump into the road to nowhere, fail, scream, and then try again. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments which specific Crash level still gives you nightmares. For me, it's always that first damn boulder run. I'll see you in the next one.